Now then, the future of football. In Gibraltar, they're paying their players cryptocurrency. It's something you and I both need more information about.
I know nothing about it.
On. So who better then to turn to than the owner of Gibraltar United, who also happens to work in that same business, Andy, Victor Pablo Dana, founder and CEO of Heritage Sports Holdings. And Victor, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Victor.
Why is cryptocurrency the currency you're trading in with your players at the moment in Gibraltar, and why is cryptocurrency the future for football?
Hi, gentlemen. Well, first of all, I think that we had a bad experience last year. One of our players coming from Egypt, he could not open a... This was impossible for him to receive his wages. He was coming from Egypt, and it was really, really a nightmare. So we had to pay him in cash. As I'm an investor in Quantocoin, this cryptocurrency, and they're really launching this application, which is actually a virtual bank, we decided that it would be an ideal concept, an ideal solution to be able to provide our players a system in which we would pay them through cryptocurrency. Obviously, when they receive the cryptocurrency, they can also decide to transfer it back into pounds or euros or any fiat currency. What we also found out is that the blockchain solution, the blockchain technology that we're putting through is bringing transparency, as it's all in place to, let's say, to follow what the UEFA is putting up in regulations for bringing more transparency and to try to defeat corruption. So I think that it's a new model. It's a new model that will be followed by others. And it's also a model that, as you might know, 2 days ago, we also did the first acquisition of a third series Italian team, professional team. It's Rimini Football Club, which was also acquired in cryptocurrency. So I think that we're bringing in something new. It's transparency. It's the future.
When you say transparency, Victor, do you mean occasionally you hear stories about money going missing in big money transfers, traditional transfers? Does cryptocurrency avoid that possibility?
Yes, obviously could. We're not into buying out and doing transfers at the moment because we do not act as agents ourselves, because we're team owners. But I believe and I strongly think that cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology, not only cryptocurrency itself, but blockchain technology will be a very important actor to avoid any problems with non-declared money and with other problems that occurred in the past in the football industry.
Victor, do you foresee any resistance? Let's say it does progress the way you expect and it gets more and more prevalent in football. Do you expect to see much resistance from the best football clubs around the world? Or do you think they will all embrace it?
No, there's going to be resistance. There's going to be a lot of resistance because I think there's an old football establishment who still is working on the back of many others and using, let's say, certain ways of financing themselves, which are not right, which are not legal, and there is resistance. Now, I think that both federations, not only UEFA, but also all the local federations, are putting in place actions and regulations in order to avoid this kind of problematics. And blockchain technology, even with the resistance, I'm sure will be the winner for the future of this wonderful game.
Victor, you're talking to two guys here that really don't fully understand the subject that we're discussing. Blockchain technology, what do you mean by that?
It's transparency. It's opening up, it's giving an open ledger in which all the transactions will be easier to trace. If you take the examples of a banking transaction, when you transfer money from your account to another account, it goes through the central, the official bank's Nostra account, it then goes through a correspondent bank, then back to the correspondent bank of the country, and back to somebody else. So it's 4 or 5 different steps. Also takes a lot of time and costs a lot of money, and very difficult to trace. Now, blockchain technology will be something that will be open and easy to see and to observe. And I think that when the regulators will be able to put their nose a little bit more into it, and also establishing more rules about cryptocurrency in general, I think that would be a really, really good method to show the world a full transparency. But not only in football, you can see it now in shipping, you can see it in contracts that are written and are going peer-to-peer directly through the blockchain.
Victor, is the business of cryptocurrency, is it unregulated or regulated?
Well, the problem, more and more countries are looking into regulating. Our idea, for example, of using Gibraltar, our team, Gibraltar United, as a world premiere, was also because the government of Gibraltar is one of the first ones and the best in the world to have put in place a new regulatory system that will allow companies working into fintech, blockchain technology, and cryptocurrency to be able to work from the rock with regulated environments. Now, others are following, such as Malta and Switzerland, but I think that Gibraltar was the first one really to be able to push forward and to give, opportunity to other companies to do it in a serious way.
It's been hard work for you, Victor, talking to us. So how did it go down in the dressing room at Gibraltar United when you said, right, guys, going forward, we're paying you in cryptocurrency?
Well, we already started last year, and both with the captain and the other members of the team, we decided to pay certain bonuses, for example, in cryptocurrency, in Quantocoin. Quantocoin being one of the sponsors also of the team. This year, from the beginning of the season, actually the season in Gibraltar started already a couple of weeks ago, we're going to give them the opportunity, starting the first week of September next week, to be able to receive either their salaries in Quantocoin or to transfer it directly into normal currency. It's really up to them.
What do you think the balance will be? Would it be 50-50? Who will take normal currency? Who will take crypto?
Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Sorry, Victor, Andy was saying, what's the balance? Is there some resistance against taking salary as cryptocurrency?
I don't think there's going to be a resistance because they can exchange at the same value, the same date they receive it. Now, this is going to be done progressively. We don't want to shock our players. We're playing in the Premier Division in Gibraltar. As small as it is important because it's also qualifiable for both Champions and Europa League. But I think that everybody, both players, but also staff, will be receiving the Quantocoins and will be able to either accept or to transfer. If they keep their cryptocurrency, they might be looking into a more speculative environment. So we would advise them at the beginning really to trade in and to exchange their cryptocurrency into fiat currency, into normal pounds or euros. But if they want to keep a little bit for the future, I think it's very smart from them to do.
Victor, you've started something here. I'm sure we'll be returning to this subject. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you.
Bye, bye, bye.
Thanks, Victor. So, would you take your salary as cryptocurrency?